Let me hit you with a truth most men hate hearing. The harder you try to please a woman, the less she actually feels for you. Yeah, it's controversial, but it's real. Most guys learn the wrong playbook from day one. You're told to be extra nice, send the first text, double text when she's slow, show massive effort, prove you care, fight for her attention, demonstrate you're not like the other guys. Yet somehow she still doesn't miss you. Replies drag. She's busy. She's not ready. She doesn't know what she wants. Or worse, she friend zones you gently. So what's really happening? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Attraction isn't born from pressure. It's born from space. It isn't born from pursuit. It's born from uncertainty. It isn't born from constant availability. It's born from perceived value. And real value is never loud. This video isn't about manipulation. It isn't about tricks. It isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about understanding human psychology, especially female psychology, and how desire actually works. Because here's what most men completely miss. You cannot logically argue a woman into being interested in you. Attraction is emotional. Missing someone is emotional. Desire is emotional. And emotions aren't triggered by effort alone. They're triggered by absence, mystery, contrast, and perceived high value. If a woman isn't interested right now, it doesn't always mean you're not good enough. Sometimes it means you're too available, too predictable, too easy to reach, or you invested way too fast. When someone knows they can have you anytime, there's no urgency. No urgency, no tension, no burning desire. Men often think, if I just show her more attention, she'll see how great I am. But attention without scarcity becomes background noise. When you're always there, she doesn't have to think about you. And if she doesn't think about you, she can't miss you. Missing someone only happens when there's actual space to feel the absence. Let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed how much more attractive people suddenly become the moment they pull back? When someone stops texting as much, you start wondering why. When someone becomes less available, you suddenly notice their value more. That's not coincidence, that's psychology. Humans value what feels uncertain, what feels slightly out of reach, what feels like it could be lost. Now here's where it gets controversial. Sometimes the fastest way to make a woman miss you is to stop trying to make her miss you. Most men play defense. They react to her mood, her texts, her interest level. They constantly adjust to keep her eyes on them. But truly attractive men don't chase attention. They create presence. There's a massive difference. Chasing says, please pick me. Presence says, I pick myself first. Women feel that shift instantly. When you build a life that lights you up, when you stay emotionally solid, when her inconsistency doesn't rattle you, when her pullback doesn't make you panic, something flips. She starts wondering, why isn't he reacting? Why isn't he chasing? Why does he seem so unbothered? Curiosity is the spark of missing someone. But let's be crystal clear. You can't and shouldn't make every woman on earth miss you. The goal isn't control. The goal is positioning yourself as a man with standards, who doesn't overinvest, who gives attention but doesn't beg for it, who appreciates a woman but doesn't depend on her. When a woman senses that emotional independence, she feels both safety and challenge at the same time. That combination is lethal. Think about it hard. If she knows you're waiting on her verdict, she feels powerful. If she knows you'll keep moving with or without her, she feels risk. And risk creates emotional charge. That's exactly where most men fail. They try to lock in certainty too early. They want reassurance, labels, confirmation. But attraction thrives in uncertainty. When she doesn't fully know how you feel but knows you're interested, when she senses you like her but aren't desperate, when she realizes other things compete for your attention, that's when your absence starts to matter. That's when your silence speaks louder. That's when your name pops into her head. She checks her phone. She wonders what you're doing. Making someone miss you isn't about flooding them with affection. It's about becoming a man whose presence leaves a mark. And here's the final uncomfortable truth for this intro. If she doesn't miss you when you genuinely step back, it was never real to begin with. That's not a loss. That's clarity. In this video on relationship psychology, we're going deep into how emotional distance works, how value is perceived, and how to shift from chasing attention to becoming unforgettable, not through manipulation, not through games, but through discipline, smart positioning, and real understanding of human behavior. Because once you truly get how desire is created, you stop begging for interest and start becoming the man who's hard to forget. Stop chasing. Create the space that triggers missing you. Let's cut straight to it. If you want a woman to miss you, first remove the constant access she has to you. Most men lose before they even start because they overexpose themselves. Texting all day, instant replies, always available, canceling plans, shifting schedules, making her the center too soon. It looks like effort. Emotionally, it feels like pressure. Here's what you need to grasp. When she knows she can reach you anytime, there's zero tension. No tension, no anticipation, nothing to miss. You can't become unforgettable if you never leave. Important. This isn't about ignoring her. It isn't childish games. It isn't being cold. It's balance. It's not overinvesting before she's earned that level of access. Chasing usually comes from fear. Fear she'll lose interest. Fear another guy takes your spot. Fear silence means rejection. That fear makes men overthink and overcompensate. But confidence creates calm space. When you stop chasing, the energy flips. Instead of you fighting for her focus, she starts noticing your absence. Let's break it down simply. Scenario 1. You text every morning, ask how she slept, check in at lunch, good night text, reply in minutes. She likes it. At first. Then it becomes normal, predictable, expected. Scenario 2. You text with purpose, not constantly. Real conversations, but you have a life. Some days you're busy. You don't panic over silence. You don't force interaction. When you talk, it's engaging. When you're gone, you're really gone. Now, there's contrast. She feels your presence when you're there, feels your absence when you're not. That emotional contrast wakes her up. Human psychology runs on contrast. We notice change, movement, disappearance. If you're always available, there's nothing to notice. But create natural space, not dramatic distance, just healthy independence, and she starts processing your absence. Processing absence is where missing begins. Real life example. You meet a woman. Early on, mild interest, slow replies, polite but not invested. Most guys ramp up, longer texts, trying to impress, more questions to prove worth. Classic mistake. Instead, match her energy. Don't overdo it. Good conversations when they happen, but no chasing more. Stay friendly, confident, relaxed. Then a busy week. Work, gym, friends. No dramatic ghosting, just no initiating. 2 or 3 days pass without you reaching out. Something subtle shifts. She notices. Not because you announced it, not because of drama, but because the rhythm changed. When rhythm changes, attention follows. She wonders, why no message? Is he talking to someone else? Did he lose interest? This isn't manipulation, it's human nature. Pulling back calmly, without anger or explanation, signals inner strength. Strength sparks curiosity. Curiosity makes her think. Thinking creates emotional presence. Emotional presence leads to missing you. Another crucial point. Space lets her imagination work. Constant texts. She doesn't have to think about you. You're right there. But when you live your life and don't glue yourself to her, her mind fills the gaps. Imagination is sometimes stronger than reality. Be careful, though. Space only works if your early interactions were positive. You can't treat her poorly and expect her to miss you. Be engaging when present. Be respectful. Be grounded. Then pull back. Not as punishment, not as strategy, but as lifestyle. You're not trying to make her miss you. You simply stop chasing. That difference is everything. Chasing, you give up your power. Space, you keep it. To be crystal, you don't withdraw affection to control her. You withdraw excess availability to protect your value. If she reaches out, respond warmly. If she invests, invest back, but never more than her level. Don't force emotional depth she hasn't earned. Calm men create quiet tension without saying much, and that tension keeps your name looping in her head. Burn this in. She can't miss you if you never create space to be missed. So before anything else, master this. Stop chasing. Create space. Let your absence do the talking. If she feels it, she'll move closer. If not, you save time. Either way, you win. Build a life that doesn't revolve around her. Let's be brutally honest. One of the biggest mistakes men make is shrinking their entire world the moment they like a woman. You cancel plans, delay goals, reply instantly even when busy, make her the highlight of every day. In your head, it feels romantic. To her, it feels heavy. Here's what you may not want to hear. When your life orbits her, she feels responsible for your happiness. Responsibility isn't attractive in the early stages. It creates pressure. Pressure slowly kills interest. Women don't miss men who circle them. They miss men who have their own gravity. If your entire mood rides on her reply, she feels it. If you get anxious when she takes hours, she senses it. If you light up too much every time she gives attention, it dilutes the emotional impact. Desire grows in movement. If your world is small, she becomes your only source of excitement. But if your world is full, goals, friends, solid routine, passions, she steps into something already alive. The energy completely shifts. Think about how you feel meeting a woman who has her own full life, projects, busy schedule. She doesn't drop everything for you. She enjoys talking but doesn't depend on you. You respect it. It makes her hotter. Same rule applies to you. When you're seriously building physique, finances, social circle, discipline, you radiate purpose. Purpose attracts because it signals direction, and direction brings stability. Most men don't lose women because they're not enough. They lose them because they become too available, too needy, too focused on her too quickly. You've probably felt it. Early on, she's warm. You invest more, check in more, try harder. Suddenly, she pulls away. You're confused. What changed? Your energy. You went from centered to attached, stable to reactive, calm to desperate. That shift is subtle but deadly. When your life doesn't revolve around her, your mood stays steady. Late reply, no spiral, cancellation, no meltdown, slight withdrawal, no panic. That calm is insanely attractive. It signals options. It signals self-respect. It signals you're not afraid to lose what isn't fully yours yet. Deeper truth, when she sees you progressing, gym, career, mindset, she either wants to rise with you or feels she'll get left behind. Growth increases perceived value. Stagnation breeds comfort. Comfort rarely breeds desire. If you wake up fired up by your own goals, you won't obsess over her attention. If you're grinding on your body, money, skills, you won't refresh your phone every 5 minutes. Ironically, the less you obsess, the more she notices. Because now when you talk, you bring real value. Stories, experiences, wins, progress, confidence, not just how was your day. Be real. You've probably put a woman on a mental pedestal before. Imagined a future, replayed conversations, overanalyzed her tone. That intensity made you more cautious, more available, more accommodating. But that version wasn't your strongest. Your strongest version is the one building, with routines, keeping promises to himself, not derailing his mission just because someone new showed interest. Women miss men who move forward, not men who wait. When she feels your life expanding instead of shrinking around her, she's watching growth in real time. And momentum attracts, momentum excites, excitement creates emotional attachment. Clarification, this isn't faking being busy, it isn't ignoring to seem high value, it isn't acting unavailable, it's genuinely leveling up your life. If you fake it, she'll feel it. But if you're truly invested in your growth, your energy shifts naturally. Slower speech, fewer reactions, zero chasing, higher value on your time. And when you value your time, she starts valuing it too. Want her to miss you? Become a man whose time has worth. When you end a conversation because you have priorities, she feels the void. When you can't meet because you already have plans, she feels the shift. When you're not constantly available, she feels scarcity. Scarcity raises value. Value raises desire. Bottom line, if your life is empty without her, your attention overwhelms her. If your life is full and she's invited in, she feels lucky to be part of it. That's the frame you want, not chasing her world, but inviting her into yours. Control your emotions, stop reacting, start leading. Let's be straight. A lot of men lose women not because of looks or money, but because they're emotionally unstable. If your mood swings with her texts, if a slow reply ruins your day, if a cancelled plan makes you feel rejected, you're not in control. And when you're not in control of your emotions, she feels it instantly. Women are extremely tuned to emotional shifts. Confident one day, anxious the next, she notices. Calm, then suddenly needy, she feels it. Questioning her interest every time there's silence, she feels the pressure, and pressure pushes people away. Here's your challenge. Why do small things shake you so hard? Why does her inconsistency feel like a threat to who you are? Why do you invest emotionally before she's shown real consistency? To be missed, you have to stop being reactive. Reactive men seek reassurance. Grounded men create their own certainty. Simple examples. She pulls back slightly. You immediately ask, "Are you still interested?" Insecurity. She takes longer to reply. You send 3 more texts. Anxiety. She's distant. You suddenly get extra affectionate. Fear. Fear repels. Strength is quiet. Calm is powerful. Emotional control is magnetic. Women are drawn to men who feel stable. Stable doesn't mean cold or emotionless. Stable means grounded. If she feels your emotional state depends on her behavior, she senses unconscious pressure. When someone feels responsible for regulating your emotions, they pull away. But when you stay stable, even while she fluctuates, she starts feeling your emotional weight, your balance, your unshakability. That breeds respect. Respect is the foundation of desire. Hard pill. Some of you are way too emotionally available because nothing else anchors you. No discipline, no structured routine, no self-mastery, no emotional regulation habits. So when a woman shows interest, you pour everything in, and that intensity repels. Build emotional strength the same way you build physical strength. Repetition, control, restraint. No immediate reply? Don't assume the worst. One cancellation? Don't overreact. Distant for a day? Don't panic. Observe. Stay calm. Match her energy without dropping your standards. Reality. If she knows you'll always be there no matter what she does, no urgency. But if she senses you have standards, that inconsistency lowers your investment. She feels a natural consequence, not dramatic punishment. Quietly reduce investment when hers drops. That silent shift forces her to notice. Stop overvaluing women who haven't earned that place in your life. Attraction requires mutual effort. If you're the only one trying, you're not building connection, you're building dependency. Dependency is weakness. Not interested? Accept it with dignity. Inconsistent? Adjust without emotion. Engaged? Reward with your presence, but never lose self-control. Your emotional discipline defines your attractiveness far more than your words ever will. If you want her to think of you when you're gone, link yourself to stability, calm energy, quiet confidence. A grounded man who doesn't panic, doesn't over-explain, doesn't chase reassurance becomes rare, and rare things get remembered. Before you focus on what she does, focus on how you respond. Are you grounded, stable, in command of yourself, or do passing emotions dictate your behavior? Master your reactions, and you move from reactive to centered. Centered men are hard to forget, not because they're loud, but because they're solid. Solid men earn respect. Respect turns absence into desire. Brutal conclusion. If she doesn't miss you when you pull back, she was never truly interested. She just liked the attention. It stings, but think about it coldly. Many men confuse politeness with attraction, conversation with connection, access with desire. She replies, doesn't mean invested. She laughs at your jokes, doesn't mean attached. She accepts your effort, doesn't mean she values you. Sometimes she just enjoys being wanted. The moment you remove the extra attention, the constant energy, the 24/7 availability, and nothing changes on her end, no outreach, no questions, no reaction to your absence, you have your clear answer. You can't negotiate genuine desire. You can upgrade yourself. You can position better. You can become more grounded, disciplined, emotionally stable. But you can't force someone to feel what they don't feel. That's not failure. That's reality. The real game changer. Stop trying to make one specific woman miss you. Instead, become the kind of man women miss naturally. Those are two completely different goals. One reeks of desperation, the other radiates power. As long as you're seeking validation from one person, your vibe will leak insecurity. Build a version of yourself that doesn't need constant feedback to feel confident. If she misses you, great. If not, you keep moving. That mindset is rare, and rare attracts. Be honest with yourself. Have you ever given too much? Over-explained? Chased harder when she pulled away? Felt anxious because she didn't reply fast enough? If yes, no shame. It's human. but it's fixable. If this hit home, smash the like button, subscribe to Relationship Psychology so you don't miss the next one, and drop a comment. Which part shook you the most?